Welcome to Consider Yourself Hugged, a place to find comfort and support as you navigate your mental and emotional well-being. Sit back and relax, unless you're driving, and get ready for this week's hug. Michelle and I have been talking about, we're doing a live event here on April 2nd for our local chamber. And that's what we're thinking, like, will people come? And interestingly, so the one we're recording today for you all, what you're about to listen to is about like your time and your, just tools like that. But then our final one is going to be about like the fears and the ethics and the scary part. But even Jamie, who you all have seen, we did a clip last time, we'll do a clip this time. He even says, it's going to get rough because AI is going to take a lot of jobs away. And that's only one element of it, but I'm just saying he, even as much as like his life is centered around AI because of his business, that's what he's done for what, like 5 years, 6 years, I don't even know. But he even says it's gonna get rough, and there's gonna be a gap period before we really begin to see people transitioning into different lines of work, for example. And then, Michelle, I didn't tell you this, but we'll talk about this more in the next one. My friend Beth, and Michelle knows Beth. Beth has been on our show before. She wrote the book, I Can Even Dance. We had a Bible study Friday, and she was telling me that she follows a preacher. Is it Franklin Jensen? I always say his name wrong. Well, anyway, she loves him and watches him every day. And I don't know, we're staying in touch about this, so I'll talk more about it next week. But she was watching a YouTube thing, and it didn't seem to be, something about it made her question it. So she got on Franklin Jensen's website, wrote the media person, and they said, no, that is AI generated. So it wasn't a YouTube with videos, it was YouTube with a stationary image and text and just the voice. And let me just say, it wasn't blasphemous or anything like that, but it was not Franklin Jensen. So there are things to be concerned about.
Right. Yeah.
We'll talk about it. So we're glad to have you all back. Don't you love it when you like I don't think Michelle knew I was going to say, well, because it was such a great start, don't you think?
Yes. Yeah.
We're talking about it.
It just happened. Yeah.
So we wanted to start. We realized that today we are talking about simplifying your life, saving time, things like that. But as a transition to go back to what we were talking about before, my husband Tim shared a video with me, and let me make sure it's got sound. Make sure you can see. Do you see it okay?
I can see it. Okay. Yes.
Okay, so we're assuming that everybody can, and I don't know how to make TikTok full screen. Ha! That's how you do it. Do you see it?
Yes.
All right, everybody. So it says my psychiatrist uses AI. So let's listen to, if I can get it to go, what he has to say, and you let us know what you think.
Uses ChatGPT in our therapy sessions.
No way.
So, oh yeah, I'm patient number one of her. So she has hundreds of patients. So
That's fantastic.
it listens to us as we're talking and writes 7 highly detailed scientific notes about our conversation in real time.
Oh,
right.
that's
And
fantastic.
from different points of view, because she has to take very detailed notes on each patient. She doesn't do the notes anymore. Her system does the notes, so she can actually listen to you and provide a better level of care. She says it's going to be malpractice soon not to use a system like this because it catches mistakes that she makes. It sees patterns over time. So if I do 20 meetings with her, it watches over time how a patient is doing and sees patterns in between meetings, which it's really hard for a human being to remember what we talked about 20 meetings ago, right?
All right, Michelle. This video, I think, incorporates all the things that we're talking about. AI and mental health, saving time, but also ethical concerns. So what do you, and I wanted to bounce off of it before we move on to time. What do you think?
I know, like even, I know that there are multiple systems that are being tested for that right now. And, I've heard different people say positives and negatives
Mhm.
about different things. I think the term that not using it soon will be malpractice. I think the key word there is soon. I
What does
think
soon mean?
it's going to take a little longer. I think it could be a valuable tool, but I know that they are still adapting. And like I love the thought of like being able to be completely available for someone versus like taking like notes, whether handwritten, typed at the same time. So, I mean, that would be wonderful if it can be something that is translated correctly. But like everything we've been talking about, this is a fairly new technology, and
Right.
so I think it's going to grow. And I'm certainly like not opposed to it at all. I do think, though, what I have noticed over time is that when people say that they're afraid that AI is going to take over like the role of humans, there is a compassion and
Yes.
an empathy that comes with being human that these other things don't generate. So I don't, I'm not afraid of, a world where where someone only wants to like talk to a
Chat with
computer.
the AI therapist.
Yeah. Yeah, right. I think that there's definitely value in human to human contact. So all of that to say that I think there's wonderful things that can come from that. And it's a work in progress. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I think so too. And it's interesting to, like what you said, being more available for people so that something else can do the note taking is a very powerful thing. But, and even when, if you all have not watched our, like our intro to AI, which was 2 weeks ago, and then last week, which was specifically about mental and well-being tools, be sure to do that because we had a chat with Chat GPT saying, hey, I feel blah, blah, blah. And it was a compassionate voice. It still is not going to replace me talking to Michelle or talking to my counselor. It's not. But
The
it
things that a
is,
best friend knows that, like even as your AI right now gets to know you, as Jamie would say, there are
mhm,
still things like we've been friends for what, over 20 years, 20 years, a long
20
time.
plus. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And so you can't feed that into like an AI. I mean, I guess you could, but that's not necessarily a practical,
Right.
it's going to happen.
Right. And two things, and then we promise we'll move on to productivity tools. Um, we keep saying 20 years, but Tim and I in May will have been married 22 years. And you and I know. So it's probably been 26, 27 years.
Yes. I started, oh my goodness, I can't even remember.
I started in 95.
I started, I think, at Gallatin in 2001. Yes, because my first year there was 9/11.
So like almost 24 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, now that we've clarified that, I don't remember what else I was going to say.
Well, but I mean, that is like a perfect, like, again, like for the like AI is going to replace human contact. Like, there's just a difference between a friendship or a family relationship that has that much history with it versus AI.
Right. Oh, and now I remember what I was going to say based on that, but I can, like we talked about before, of course, go back and listen. I can go on a walk and use the voice mode and say, this is what I'm struggling with, and have like an unbiased, like quick conversation or help me script out a conversation. We talked about all that last week. So check that out. This week, I think is a little less divisive, maybe, because this is the way I look at it. What we're talking about this week about tools for like, simplifying things, saving you time. for me has worked the same as if I had someone I was just getting as an assistant to do some things for me. That's kind of the way that I look at it. And so it's not just for like when we did the notes, which you all know, especially now, we do run things through AI. And one of the things that it wrote was AI isn't just for big businesses or tech experts, it's for you. And I would even go so far as say it's more for you if you're not a big business or a tech expert, because it can save you so much time.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that, like I said, like this aspect of it is a lot less controversial and so much like it's so powerful in the way it can help with time management and organization
Mhm.
that I think it's definitely just something worth looking at, tapping into.
Exactly. So I think that the way we're going to do this is we have three categories. It's just a podcast. It's not going to be like we're doing this session on April 2nd. And just so you all know, especially if you're in the Nashville area, our plan, we're going to see how it goes on April 2nd. And then our plan is to do like a 3-hour Saturday workshop in late April. So we're kind of just walking through the steps here and just kind of see how it goes. And when we do that, then we'll definitely have time to do more. So we had three categories. We had organization and scheduling, um, just home and personal life, and then shopping and decision making. So should we play that clip? That's a good time to play the clip from Jamie now, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. So one of the things you want to think about is how you want to incorporate AI into your like time saving, simplifying. So this is just a couple of things. You all, my son from last time from our interview, we'll just play that now. I think the only thing like as we look forward, all of our listeners, I mean, it's mental and emotional well-being. That's our whole thing. And so I mentioned to you like the How We Feel app. So we're looking at as far as mental emotional well-being, it has to do with well, like journaling and meditation and emotion tracking and focus and resilience, but also simplifying your life and saving time and scheduling, and then also being safe and smart. Are there any particular, you told me a few days ago you felt like ChatGPT and Claude could pretty much do everything that you needed as you talk to it, but do you know now, or could you send because you said like character.ai, are there apps or things that we should recommend to people to use to help them use AI effectively to help their lives?
I think it's like hard to recommend any other product that like pound for pound is worth more for the $20 a month than what you get from like ChatGPT or Claude. Now you can, I think you use Poe, which gives you lots of different models and
No,
um
you tell me to cancel it, so
well it I think I generally think it's like better
you-
to be closer to
I
the
do what you tell me.
what?
But I said I do what you tell me. Um, okay, so just summary and adding our own take on that is that you can do a lot of things with just ChatGPT and Claude. And I didn't tell you this, Michelle. Jamie and I took a hike at Bledsoe State Park the other day. I might have told you that, but what I didn't tell you was I asked him at some point if he could create a graphic. Because I was like, what exactly, when we talk about platforms versus bots versus tools and so he said he was going to do that for me. But the two biggest, OpenAI is the company that ChatGPT lives with, and Anthropic is the one that Claude lives with. So those are two of the biggest, just like text-based sort of apps. And, according to Jamie, you can do most everything in there. So we are going to share in these three segments examples of how we would use them. And we'll do both. So you can see ChatGPT versus Claude, There are free versions of both of them. I have the paid versions. Um, so, for what it's worth, just know it just has a little bit more power to it. And then we have a bunch of, in each segment, we have a few like specific apps just to mention and talk about. And then we're going to upload like a cheat sheet for you. And we would love for you all, if you're you like, I don't want to have 25 apps to do things. I want the most simple life that I can have. I mean, is that the way you feel about it too, Michelle? We haven't
Yeah,
talked
yeah,
about, you do a bunch of apps?
absolutely. No, I do. Like I have a few apps that I use a lot. I have a tendency to kind of gravitate towards simplicity.
Hmm.
And so for me, I have a few apps I use a lot.
Okay, think about if you want to share them when we get to the app part. And
I see a few of them on here, so I will definitely talk about them when we get there for sure.
okay, good. Good, good, good. I mean, a lot of it, well, okay, let's just start. So the first general category is organization and scheduling. So I want to share, let me go ahead and it's not open yet. Let's do, oh, I see why. I was still on TikTok there. So I'm going to go to, okay, are you seeing my Chat GPT page?
Yes, I can see it.
So one of the things that I did, Tim and I are very budget conscious, especially post pandemic. A lot changed for us. So I was paying someone to clean my house a couple times a month, which eventually I'll go back to, but we needed to buy a second car. So we decided that we would take that budget, put it toward the car. So I was like, well, it can't be that hard. Um, if we both participate, my husband and me, in just cleaning a little bit every day. So I'm going to start from scratch, and I may go back and show you what I eventually came up with, but generate a cleaning schedule for my husband. I bet I could say Tim. I think then it knows Tim and me. Let's see, how should I to do a little bit every day?
Yes, do you
Oh,
want to divide it up?
what do you mean?
Like, do you want it divided up between what you do, what Tim does?
Oh, give us each tasks. We have a 1,700 square foot, one level home with two bedrooms, two offices, kitchen slash, and you can do typos, dining room, which I'm going to do typos the whole time, living room, the, oh, bathrooms, two full baths. The second bed and bath are rarely used. You can do as little or as much, but as much as you can tell it. Um, Hardwood except bedrooms. And I figure that'll tell it like, do we need to vacuum? Do we need to mop? Can you think of anything else that would be helpful in asking it a task like this? I could even say, take Sunday off. Let's start. Is that good?
Yes.
Okay, so let's start with that. Now, one thing I have learned is this generating. I will tell you all this, not the biggest deal, but if you use Chat GPT's copy feature, it will give you asterisks and dashes, which drove me crazy because I would have to go into Word if I copy and pasted, like if I was going to use it for something and do like find and replace. But finally, I realized if I just highlight it this way and copy it, it doesn't do that. Okay, so let's see. Tammy and Tim's 30-minute cleaning schedule. Sunday off, relax and enjoy. So Monday, dust and floors. Tuesday, oh, let's say what it did with Tim versus me. Yes, Tim has to sweep and mop and vacuum. Oh, let's go back up for a minute. 30 minutes. So it says each day if we spend 30 minutes, and I could even say, let's keep looking. So we have dust and floors, Tuesday, kitchen and dining room, Wednesday. Oh, I didn't even think about laundry. So it thought about laundry for me. Um, wash the bath mats no, I'm not doing that. Do you wash your bath mats every week?
No, not every
Okay,
week.
good. But see, wipe down the second bath, just a quick refresh because we don't, oh, straighten and declutter. I probably do that more than once a week. Um, wipe down the office equipment, change the bed sheets, rotate the couch cushions. That's good because, sometimes they get clean the litter boxes. It remembers I have a cat. Take out the trash. Oh, each task should take 15 minutes per person.
Hmm.
Isn't that great?
Yes.
And then when it said, let's just give it one tweak and then we'll do it real quick in Claude. Think of a good tweak. Like, um,
Is there
add,
anything? Sorry, go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
When looking at the list, is there anything you would change about it from your typical cleaning routine?
Oh yeah, probably, and I did the first time around. Like we just talked about this, didn't we?
Yes, I just did that this morning.
Did that this morning. Um, I could say add one deep clean task per week on Saturday. How about that? And let's see what Saturday. So then it gives me the whole thing again. So, and if it didn't give me the whole thing again, I could say, oh, please take what you did before and add that back in.
And it would do that. Yeah.
It would do
Awesome.
that. Okay, so deep clean task. Week 1, week 2, it rotates. Baseboards, kitchen cabinets, the microwave, which I probably do that every week. So, um, tub grout, rotate the mattress. So that's good, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm going to copy this and let's just see if Claude does it any different. So remember, Claude and ChatGPT are both just oh, hang on a minute. Generate. Now, I don't even have to say generate. I'm going to say image of Tim and me cleaning. So I have gotten rid, just as we're talking about this, I use a lot of images in my presentations and I like to do AI because it allows me to make a point about what we have told the World Wide Web. But I'm paying for several things. So you can do that now in ChatGPT. So here's an image of a cheerful couple cleaning their home together. So a couple of things. Yeah, we don't look anything like that, but I wouldn't expect it to know. And secondly, are we happy when we're cleaning together or are we grumpy?
Well, I mean, this is like motivation, right? I mean, they look happy.
If you clean your house, you will be happy. Let's see if there's anything weird there. Do they have 25 fingers or so I'll download. If you're listening, you can't see this. And sorry, we should have acknowledged that. Um, if you're listening, let me recap what we've done. So we went to ChatGPT, and this is a good time for you all to go watch on YouTube so you can see this happening. But let me read again what our final prompt was, and now I'm going to do it in Claude. So I said, generate a cleaning schedule for Tim and me to do a little bit every day. Give us each tasks. We have a 17 square foot, one level home with 2 bedrooms, 2 offices, kitchen slash dining room, living room, 2 full baths. The second bed and bath are rarely used. Hardwood, except bedrooms, take Sunday off. So you don't have to write complete sentences, typos are fine. So it generated a 30-minute cleaning schedule, meaning 15 minutes for each of us for Sunday off, so Monday through Saturday. And then, and I'll put all this in the show notes for you to see what it did. And then we asked it to add a Saturday deep clean task every week and then the image. So you've got to at least go to the show notes so you can see the image of Tim and me happily cleaning. So, so now let's go to Claude. So according to now, I don't think Jamie talked about this on our earlier interview. And if he did, I'm going to insert it now. Okay, so either we saw a video or we didn't, but the benefit of Claude is that you can upload bigger documents. So, for example, well, not if, I wanted to do some things with my Stress Club book. I can upload the whole book into Claude and ask it questions.
So chat GPT has a limit.
It has a somewhat of a limit, and I won't even act like I understand it because I don't. Um, and I'm not even sure I understand it here. So understand, y'all, and this is why I think it's so good. Michelle and I are not experts, and there's a lot we don't know, but we're learning, and we use it, and we try, and
It
that's why.
makes life easier.
Yes. So, but I think those are the biggest. Claude has, a bigger capacity to put things in, and I don't know if Claude will make images for us or not. We'll try. So same prompt, generate a cleaning schedule. Now I'm putting it in, wait, did I do it? Oh no, there's an error. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so we'll let that generate for just a minute. And as we do, I'm going to go ahead and at least type in image of Tim and I cleaning and just see what it does. But for the most part, I don't need any kind of professional images, so I'm fine just doing it in ChatGPT. So let's see. Monday, it's not quite as specific, would you say?
It's still saying things like dust your office, vacuum living rooms and hallways, clean kitchen thoroughly, check guest bedroom, bathroom.
So these are the Saturday deep clean days, which I actually didn't ask it to do. So that's interesting. Let's go back and forth from this one.
Did you ask it? Let's go back up and see.
Okay, let's go back. I think I just did the initial prompt. No, I didn't.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. So there we go. I don't know why I think that it's more detailed. I don't know. Maybe just because ChatGPT has little icons in it, cute little check marks, little numbers. Maybe it feels like there's more there. Now let's see what it does when I ask it to generate an image. Oh, oh, it's giving me the code. Or is it? Wow. Okay, so if you're watching on YouTube, what's happening right now is it says, I'd be happy to create an image, but I'm not able to generate photorealistic images. Instead, I can create a simple SVG illustration. Oh, oh my gosh. Okay.
That's that's the best.
Okay. So
It
it's like,
labeled you. There's you and there's Tim.
so yeah, it doesn't say Tammy, it says you and Tim. So Claude doesn't know me very well. I'm using that phrase because that's what. So I haven't been using it as much, but it's basically a stick kind of figure with colors and let's see, it says click to open image. Okay, well anyway, I will download that. That is hilarious.
What is that? Is that your nose?
Don't know. Okay, y'all have to see this image. At least go to the show notes to see this image. Okay, so that's let's stop sharing on that. So what we've done, we're in our first segment about organization and scheduling. So this is just an example was cleaning, right? Generate a schedule for me. And then we talked about Claude and ChatGPT, and then Michelle said there are a few apps that she uses to help organize and schedule. So if you want a specific app, we'll talk about a couple and give you a list of others. What you got?
So the app that I have used, and we're not there kind of in the outline yet, but I use Todoist for my to-do lists, and that has
And
been
you'll
helpful.
send
I
me
use Chat GPT. I don't have Claude. I use Chat GPT, and I have been using it for different organization. Right before we got on the podcast, I had it make a 7-day dinner plan of
Oh,
of meals
do you
under
want to go to
500
that now?
calories.
Do you want to look at that now?
The
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 meal?
meal plan?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that. I can't like Mine's on my phone and on the computer, so I can't
Well,
share my screen.
let's do this. I'm sorry. I don't think that I made that very clear. Let's first look at whatever app, and if there's not an app you use in organization scheduling, that's fine. We'll mention Siri and Google Assistant, and then we'll move into personal life and home, and we'll do your meal thing.
Okay. So I use Todoist. I don't know like that I fully utilize the AI capability.
Okay.
The thing that's really cool is it will link like more than one person can put like David and I can both be putting things on the list and it will update it,
Oh, so
which is really nice.
that's a benefit is you can share it.
It's a benefit and like literally like as we were making the list, like I can see like in real time when things are being put on the list, when he puts things on the list. And then you can see in real time when somebody marks something off the list.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Now I have to wonder, is there a way to do that? And Todoist is in there. That's one of the ones on there
Mhm.
in our segment. Okay, awesome. Um, and then the other one would be one that a lot of us use, depending on you might have Google Assistant or Siri if you are an Apple person, and multiple times a day. The most that I use Siri, I mean, all kinds of things, but if you're using Siri or you're using Google Assistant, then you're using an AI tool. But if I didn't have it to say, remind me in the morning to schedule that meeting, remind me to book that flight, remind me to, um, that's because I should have a better way to do that scheduling, but for now, that's what I do.
Does it so it reminds you like with the voice activation, like it will talk to you and tell you to do that in the morning?
No, so if I say, hey, what is it, Siri? Hey, Siri, remind me in 30 seconds to talk more.
Okay, I've added talk more for this afternoon at 12:01 p.m.
So now at 12:01, it will just pop up on my phone. And I have notifications silent. It won't talk to me, but it will ding or buzz or vibrate, and then I can just clear it. So I use it a lot for those things that I forgot about or that if I just like mental health first aid, um, like if there's just something I need to do because somebody wrote me, see, it just went off. So it goes off on my computer and on my phone.
Okay.
It reminded me to talk more. Okay, so organization scheduling, we have ChatGPT, we have Claude, we have Todoist, we have Google Assistant, Apple or Siri, and then we'll put the other ones that were suggested. There's one called Tick, Notion AI, Motion and Reclaim. I don't know what that is. Google Smart Reply, Clean Email, for sorting and decluttering your inboxes. So maybe we'll play around with them this week, and you all, when you watch us, play around with them as well. Okay, ready for part two?
Ready?
Okay, so part one was organization scheduling. Part two was home and personal life, and that might have to do with um, meal planning, grocery shopping, and Michelle, I'm going to share. Let me make sure we're going to share ChatGPT, and Michelle will tell me what to put in. Let me make sure I go back and clear it so we're back to the original one. Okay, so if you are listening and not watching, we will talk you through what we're doing. And we're on ChatGPT now. And so we're back to just remind me to talk about this toolbar over here, if you think about it. Okay, so what did you do, Michelle?
Okay, I put create a 7-day meal plan with recipes for dinners under 500 calories.
Is that it?
Yep.
All right. Let's see. And I know I found as oftentimes it would say, do you want me to create a grocery list? Or let's see if it did it do that to you?
It did
Ooh.
not. And again, like right now we're comparing, like I don't have the paid version. So, and it did not ask me that. So I wonder
And
if it'll ask you that.
I know I'm excited. We'll scroll down. So I'm not going to read every little thing. So you all are driving, but we are going to make you very hungry. Um, do you want to read it, Michelle? Do you want me to?
Um, so day one, garlic butter, shrimp, and zucchini noodles. And then
Mm,
it has the all the ingredients, like 1 pound shrimp, peeled and deveined, two zucchinis, spiralized, 1 tablespoon butter. And then it gives you of course, it gives you the rest of the list, and then it gives you the cooking instructions. And it also tells you at the top, like
mhm.
the calories per serving.
Love that. Okay. And ooh. Oh, does it tell you how many servings?
Let me see. It did
It did on yours?
on mine. I don't think it does here. So, I mean, we
Yeah,
would have to maybe
probably
ask it
four.
to include what a serving
Ooh,
is.
let's
Yeah.
do that. Okay. So day
Or
two.
it's, yeah,
Go
because
ahead.
this is definitely more than one serving. Um, Actually, no, one medium chicken breast, 45. So this is one serving.
Oh, wow. For that, oh, a pound of shrimp. Now, see, this could be
No, you're probably wrong. I'm wrong.
like, wow.
You're probably right. I'm wrong.
Well, hang on. Let's scroll down and just see if it feels like sometimes it's one serving and sometimes because like a 4 ounce salmon fillet for day four, baked salmon with quinoa and spinach, but day three is a half a pound of ground turkey.
So this is a really good reminder that it's pulling
Mm,
things
hmm.
from like other resources out there. And so I'm guessing the things it's pulling, some of them are based on like 4 servings, some of them are based on one
Yes.
serving. Because
And you
again, a reminder, it's not creating anything, it's pulling information together.
that it finds. That's a really good point. And making sure, and you can ask, okay, what do you want me to keep scrolling through? Do you want to read each, like what it is?
No, no, no. I
Okay.
think
Okay. So we've got turkey lettuce wraps, baked salmon, cauliflower fried rice. I love that. Stuffed bell peppers. Um, so see, would you like me to create a grocery list for these? I'm going to say, yes, please, and verify number of servings for each. All
yeah.
right, so our grocery list, we've got, oh, they break it down by protein and vegetables and dairy, grains and pantry, but it did not give me servings. Let's try again.
It did up at the top.
Oh, it did? I didn't see it. Oh, there we go. Okay.
I
So
mean, but
it's,
is that like so like the shrimp, it's a pound of shrimp and it's saying it's 2 servings. So it's a
that
half a
seems
pound of
right.
shrimp. Okay.
I mean, I don't know, shrimp is not for a protein. I don't know. I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
And I am going to mention Charlie. Oops, what's happening here? We were looking to do our own fresh food for Charlie a while back. I asked it to create, go ahead and stop sharing, to create I printed it out. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I asked it to create a recipe. And then I asked it to give me a cost. And so this is to Michelle's point about you got to be careful and you have to definitely like use your own senses to know if what you're seeing makes sense. But it told me that if we got like one of the pre-order fresh foods that you can get, you order, it comes to your house, it would be about $10 a day, and that's accurate. But if I make it and you have to order, or you should order like a nutrient pack to go with it, that it would be $20, $19.88 a day. But as I looked at the breakdown, it told me that ground beef would be $11.25 a day. And that's not right. So I'll have to go and play around with it a little bit, but it's a great start because I had no idea. what goes into fresh dog food. So it's been a really great start for that. Okay.
What a good point. I think that
Hmm.
you're right. Like it's always like a good start. It's not having to build something from scratch, but you absolutely have to look at it, see what makes sense, what doesn't make sense, what needs to be refined, what else you need to add.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sure that'll get better over time. Okay, so and Claude. I don't see any need to do Claude again, unless do you want me to? Do you want to see what Claude does with the recipe, or are we good to go?
I think we're good to go.
Okay. But again, I mean, there's ChatGPT and Claude, but when you look at other personal type of apps, um, Alexa and even Siri and Google Assistant, all that can still help you with home things. Um, do you have smart home things, Michelle? Like automatic locks? Can you power your locks from your phone?
So my washer and dryer um can can do that for but and security system. There are things that yeah, but not a whole lot.
Not a whole lot.
I wouldn't say it's necessarily something that until now I would have looked for. Those are things that are newer, and so therefore it came with them. But it's not, again, like I think that it's something that I would look for now that I didn't when I was purchasing those items.
Right. Yeah. As it changes. And when we moved into our home, so we're in a new build subdivision. It's in the very final phase now, but we moved in 3.5 years ago. And can you believe that? It's been 3.5 years.
It went
Okay.
fast.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, 3.5 years. Um, when we moved in, we got a 3-year subscription, I guess, included with the home with the smart home. So like everything was connected. The garage opener, the thermostat, there was one smart plug included, and the door, what's the door? Not the doorbell camera thing. And it was all in one app. So we had that for 3 years. But then when it ended, it was going to force us to subscribe to this. That was like $75 a month or something. And I'm like, I don't care about paying. So we would be paying for convenience to have everything on the same app. And I was like, I don't want to do that. So we have a smart thermostat that has one app. We have the Ring doorbell that has another app, and we have a garage door opener, and we hardly ever open our garage door, so that turned out to be a not big deal. So again, you have to figure out what you're willing to pay for, what makes your life simpler, and balance those things.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And then the only other thing that I see in this category about home and personal life is your own personal wellness and self-care, which I think we talked a little bit about last time. But we didn't really talk about fitness trackers, sleep. Did we talk about that at all?
No, we didn't. And there's so many things. I mean, like I've used different ones in the past. I've used My Fitness Pal. I recommend CBT, like a CBT for insomnia coach to people as an
Is that
app
is that the
for
name?
sleep, for sleep. It's called the CBT coach, and it's for the
CBT.
CBT or CBT-I coach, I believe.
You'll send me
And
a
it's,
link, right?
yes,
Okay,
yes, I will.
go ahead.
Especially if you send me a text reminding me, I'll definitely send you a
Well,
link.
why don't you tell hey Siri, remind me to text Michelle later asking about the sleep app.
Okay. I've added text Michelle later asking about the sleep app to the list.
I wonder what later means. Let me look at my reminders. I don't usually say later. Uh, I don't know. Well, I'll look at it. We'll see. But anyway, that's the kind of thing that I use Siri for. Like when you just said, then that's what I do, so I don't forget. Okay. The CBT coach. What else do you do fitness tracking? Do you use like your watch? I don't. I should, but I don't.
So sometimes I use the fitness tracker on my watch and phone. And sometimes not. So the days I go to the gym, there's not really a way to track that. I mean I could, but like I have a really old version of the watch, so I'm not sure how well that would work. And I haven't used it enough to upgrade it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
So I do like I've used Map My Run before. Um, and so I've used different things over the last several years.
Okay. And I do use my watch occasionally, but like for example, when Jamie and I were hiking the other day, I had a little, what do you call a little pack, a little waist pack thing, and I had my
Fanny
phone.
pack.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
fanny pack.
right. I had that my phone in it, and so that does a little bit of tracking too to see kind of what you've done. All right. For those of you not in Middle Tennessee right now, and of course you're watching later, we're recording on a Saturday. It is storming and raining. How about Michelle and I are about an hour apart. She's more south, I'm more north. What's it like where you are?
Very, very cloudy right now. It's not raining or stormy anymore, but it was really, really ugly this morning.
Probably came a little bit up to us. Okay. So we've talked about a little bit about scheduling and organizing, a little bit about home and personal life. And then the last part, which is very interesting to me as I'm reading it because I didn't know this, is about like shopping, decision making. And we were going to do a quick chat GBT thing, but I also see on here Etsy AI. And Tim, my husband, for those of you that don't know, he sells his photography on AI or on Etsy, and I don't know what Etsy AI is. So shall we first? I may not be able to do ChatGPT. It's acting all wonky with me. It is literally just not loading up. Well, let's just give it one more go. If not, we'll do it in Claude. I do more on ChatGPT. The main there. Now we're back. All right, now let me share. Mainly because with ChatGPT, it has the voice function, and I like that so much. So, especially while I'm walking, and that's my most creative time. But remember, that's only with the paid version. What am I doing?
You're
Sharing
pulling out. Yes, yes.
the screen. Okay, so one of the things that's just kind of fun, let's find, or let's see, gift list for, let's think of some crazy, well, who might be a difficult person to buy for? Let's make up like a description of that person. So it's Christmas or birthday. Um, let's say a man.
Okay.
And what else? Because men are, I think, are a little bit harder to buy for anyway.
Maybe like a grandfather figure.
Okay, grandfather. What else? Let's say he's grouchy. What else?
Mhm.
What does he like? He likes um woodwork.
Practical.
He's practical.
It
Okay.
doesn't like to spend money.
Oh, doesn't like to spend money. Anything else? That's good,
Hmm.
right?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Let's see. High quality woodworking clamps, a magnetic wristband to hold screws and nails while he works. I did not know there was such a thing. A
Neither.
wood glue bundle. Oh, like a bunch of different types of wood glue. A personalized wooden mallet, sharpening stone for chisels and knives. So that was under woodworking and DIY. Workshop and organization is an LED work light, pegboard organizer, heavy duty shop apron, comfortable anti-fatigue mat, because he's old. Well, I don't know. We didn't say he was old. We should say he was grandfather. Let's see. Everyday practical gifts, hand warmer, multi-tool, insulated mug, warm socks, subscription to a woodworking magazine. And then, quote, save money and useful gifts, gift to hardware store or gift card, bulk pack of sandpaper, oil for tool maintenance, battery pack for his cordless tools, and a homemade coupon book. I like that.
They're all really excellent ideas and some things I wouldn't have thought of.
I think so too. I feel like I want to throw something in there crazy, like, I don't know. It's just, I mean, you could say like if it said magnetic wristband, you can say, oh, he thinks magnets are evil. I don't know. You can just do whatever. Um, but I'm going to stop share and go and see. Do you mind if we check out Etsy AI?
Yes, let's see what that's about.
Etsy AI prompts. Let's see. And then I'm going to, oh, this is check out. Okay. Check out our AI generated prompts. Okay. I'm going to share and see if this is any good. May not be, it may be. Okay. So AI generated prompts. I don't really understand. Do you?
Looks
Generate.
like those are things like that have AI that we could purchase.
Oh, okay. Let's go back to my Google search.
I
By
wonder
the
if
way,
one of the things like I know that like, and I don't remember if it was Shopify or Printify, maybe Shopify, one of those where I was just kind of playing around with it and designing some things, it would do an AI generated description and I could change it if I wanted, but
oh,
AI would initially generate the description.
if you were going to buy
If I was going
something
to
or
sell,
sell
if
something.
I was going to sell something.
That's what I'm thinking. This AI prompts here with Etsy looks like it's if you're going to sell. Now, does this change? Do you see the TikTok channel?
I do.
Okay, then I'm going to switch to Canva. I know I use Canva a lot to generate images, and when you create a design, there's lots of actually there's no point really in pulling it up, but just so you know, there's if you generate images in Canva, there's a lot of AI tools in Canva as well. Um, let's see. Yeah, I don't know anything else about smarter shopping. I mean, we have on here like Gift Genie, Etsy has smart gift suggestions, Shop Savvy, Klarna for price comparisons. But again, you can also ask. Oh, that's what I was getting ready to say. I was asking Jamie on our walk the other day. Every time something comes up, he says, "Well, ask ChatGPT," which is great. And I'm trying to, we use Google as a verb, like let's Google it. Well, I can do that with Siri, right? I can say every time hey Siri, ah,
Uh-huh.
it heard me anyway. I can ask a question, but I can't do that with ChatGPT. I have to open it up and he said he can make it to where I can actually connect the two. So just so you know, when I figure that out, because it is the thing about, here's what y'all need to know about when you do a Google search, it gives you all those lists like what you just saw on the screen. You all know that. But when you ask like ChatGPT or Claude, or did we talked about Perplexity last time, did we?
Yes, we did, but I mean, not in detail, but we did talk about it a little bit.
We should do Perplexity real quick before we end our time here. Let's do a new thread. Um, it Perplexity. Well, now I'm just, hang on. I can't do two things at once. When you ask ChatGPT a question, it gives you, like, if I want to know how to change the lighting settings on my phone, if I go to Google, then it takes me to, I have to find a website but in ChatGPT, it just answers the question. Now, there will be mistakes, but it will say 1, 2, 3, 4, just do this as opposed to me having to go, well, is this a good website? Is this a good website? Perplexity, I use quite a bit because it's almost like a combination of the two. So if I want to know how to, can you think of a how do I what? how do um, how do I find uh, healthy recipes? Um, so it'll give me some suggestions about what to do, and then it'll give me the recommended websites. But if I'm doing research for like one of my topics, and I don't know if I have any chats over here. Let me see. I haven't, I just found out about it, so I haven't used it a lot, but it allows me to, what is burnout? So when I say what is burnout, it will give me an answer, key care. And Google's doing a little bit of this. When you go to Google, it'll start sometimes with AI answers, but it gives me characteristics, it gives me causes. But then all of these are the sources that it draws from. So I can actually I don't have to click on a website if I don't want to, but I can because they're sourced here. So I found that to be a really a time-saving tool.
And I was just because and you mentioned that Google, because I knew that like when I have Googled things that it does like have an AI overview at the top now, which
Let's do
is
that.
relatively new. They haven't done that a lot. I put in just now like what's the best career field for 2025.
Okay.
Um, and it gave me an AI answer first without like a website, and then it
There you go.
yeah.
Right there, AI overview. So again, that's good. The only thing that sometimes with Google, it's very overwhelming because then it keeps going on and on and on and on. And if you click on the little staple, it takes you to the source and it puts the sources over here.
And it's interesting. We did this like within 30 seconds of each other, and our lists are a little bit different.
What was nurse practitioner, Michelle?
And it does have nurse practitioner, physician assistant, medical and health services manager, and then after that, mine says healthcare technology roles. And that has,
Interesting.
and yours says veterinarian, but under technology, software developer, mine says cybersecurity, AI machine learning specialist, data scientist, IT manager.
Very interesting.
Mhm.
Within just a few minutes of each other.
Within 30 seconds of each other.
30 seconds. Which Google does the same. I mean, it's always been you could Google something and then Google again and it would be different. So that still kind of holds true. Before we stop screen sharing, though, I mentioned this earlier. I haven't used this in a while, but one of the things you can do if you want to, if you have the paid version of ChatGPT, is to create your own little bot. So all of these that I have over here are different things you can use. So for example, I was able to upload my book into ChatGPT, and then what should I say to someone who says they are stressed, but I know they do way less than I do. Now, I don't know. Okay, so it says that's a tough one because it's so tempting to respond to, you think you're stressed, try living my life for a day. But honestly, that just keeps the stress competition going and nobody wins. Instead, you could shift the conversation in a way that supports them and protects your own energy. Something like, ugh, I hear you, stress is the worst. What's been feeling the hardest for you? Um, so anyway, and then it goes on and on and on. So that's something I'll put in the show notes for you all. When you have just plain chat GPT, you can't access any other special little, I'm going to call them sub searches, sub bots. I'm sure there's a better name for that. Um, but if you have the paid version, which is $20 a month, you could, for example, if you wanted to ask a stress question based on my book, you could. We did a women's Bible study here. I mean, there's just so much you can do. That way, when I talk to people about managing, this whole stress concept, you could just go right there and ask any question and get an answer. So
Very cool. Great information.
that felt like a lot. Was it a lot?
Yes, but
Mm.
all very helpful and something that can improve time, give us
Yes.
some time back.
Yes. And that's the whole thing about today. And then you'll notice there was a lot of overlap. Like, I mean, there just was organization, scheduling, home, personal life, shopping, decision making. Those all, you know, come together. Um, but whatever the case, just pick something, maybe just do one thing and just give it a try and see what you think. Don't pay for Chat GPT if you've never even used it yet. Get the free version, and we'll put links to all of the things. Chat GPT, Claude, um, the apps that Michelle talked about, the apps that will be in your little download, which is your cheat sheet. Um, Gosh, what else? And tell us what you're using, what helped, what didn't help. Because the only way, I mean, I learned so much because I have Jamie, and I just ask him. I just say, what should I be using now? But the only way we really learn, unless we are embedded in this AI world, is to learn from each other and to share things. So share, and we'll continue to do the same, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Exciting.
And next week on our final one is going to be, the I'm not sure exactly what we're going to call it, but we are going to talk about the ethics, the morals, the concerns. And we'll also tease a little bit. We've mentioned to you that we're coming to the end of the season, and we're going to end it a little bit earlier than normal, but then we'll start back a little bit earlier than normal, I think. So we have we'll do a little tease next time, and our final session after the AI, we'll have one more. We'll be teasing something really special we're going to do when we come back in the fall. So, all right, friend, you got anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, all the things, friends. What things are you using? What's helpful? What's not helpful? What are your fears? What are your concerns? What do you love? What about your mental health? And I mean, this is all about promoting your mental health and well-being, even if it's just time management or organization, because that all makes you feel happy and more peace. All right. Well, rate, download, do all the things. And until we see you next time, consider yourself
hugged.
Bye.